All right, welcome back. So the votes are in. 8S 1717 1650 kV system going in the new Kraton EXB. So we are going to pull out the factory system now, and I'm going to install this system into it. I don't know if I'll keep it in there, but I am going to run it on it and see how it performs. Some have said to put in the 8S system and run it on 6S. I just don't feel the need of running it on 6S. If I'm going to put a 8S system in, I'm going to run it on 8S. But I've been hearing a lot of things about the diffs on this, and I haven't had any issues. I don't really have any clicking. Mine's been smooth, but I've only run it once. So I think I am going to check the diffs since they're not that hard to check. What I'm going to do is pull out my V4. Well, they said that on my V4 diffs too, that diffs were breaking, and I've had that one over a year and haven't broke a diff in it. But I'm curious. I want to know why the two are handling so different, and I think it's a lot to do with the limited slip diffs. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to kill two birds with one stone. I'm going to end up making a video with both Kratons on the table. I'm going to pull off both front diffs, compare them, take a look, see if shims are missing, where shims are at, see if any pads are missing. I've been hearing rumors on all kinds of weird stuff. I don't know how much of it is true, but that's the thing with Facebook and Arrma sites and Arrma groups, that all of a sudden one person has an issue and it turns out to be everybody needs to now rip their RC apart and check something. So I'm kind of curious anyway. It was something I was planning on doing, taking out the diffs to look at them. So I'm going to take a look and probably make some changes to my V4. Because I'm really liking the way the EXB is handling. I had so much fun with this Kraton. It was unbelievable. It really, I didn't even want to run the V4 anymore. I wanted to go back to the car and grab the EXB. If you guys notice, even after my video was done, I literally went back and drained this 6S pack to nothing. I was just having a blast. It was super dark out there, and I found myself sitting out in the desert running this RC, and I literally had a blast, and I didn't break anything. And here is the single 6S pack I am running. I do love these Electron Pros, whether it's a single 6S pack. I've been running, I have, I think, 8 of their 4S packs that I've been running for 10 months now, and I haven't had one battery go bad. I bought a 6S pack. I bought this pack for my Red Cat Kaju. No, I didn't sneeze. Bless you. I bought this pack specifically for that RC because of the tight space, and it works great in this system. But I'm going to end up pulling out this is wires never got hit, even though they are mounted this way to the factory bracket. Didn't have an issue with it. So, and I was jumping and crashing like normal, and the wires hanging out the body here are fine. Some have asked, can I turn it? I can. It will pull the wires out of this holder, and they'll be loose laying across here, and I'd rather have them in a holder than loose. So yeah, this is the way Arrma set it up with the holder and everything, and that's just the way I've been running it. So I am going to have to open up this receiver box again, which I don't know, I don't like opening up receiver boxes for some reason. Just a pet peeve of mine, I guess. But I'm going to pull out this system, and I am going to install the 8S system. I don't know what I'm going to be doing with this system, but I will be doing, I'll do something with it. I get a lot of questions asked on this RC stand that I have right here. Vern built this little workstation for me, and I use the heck out of it. So I am going to get some slack in both these wires. Since my steering circle wire is first, I got to take that out first. My big old garage fingers. So there's my system. It is out. So right now I'm mocking it up for the wire position. There we go. So we're clear of my drive shaft. I'm very up in the air on whether I want to run this censored or sensorless. Just want to make sure all the way in that I don't hit the drive shaft and that I don't short out wiring on anything metal. So that's plenty, because that was all the way in. And that leaves me room to mount up fans to the outside of this, because I don't want these wires out here, and I definitely don't want them close to the chassis in case it slaps and hits the chassis while voltage is going to it. I don't need it touching. It's all the things that go through my head, guys. I'm just talking out loud. Things I think about when I'm assembling motors and ESCs and that kind of stuff. I look for problem areas, and I suggest everybody do the same. While doing it, I mean, you can slap stuff together really quick, but just think about, you know, future plans and problem areas. Just look for problem areas. It's good advice. Old man taught me that a long time ago, and I remember it to this day. So I'm going to turn the motor so the flat side is facing me. So what I'm going to do is check my mesh. And I do not add Loctite to these bolts. There's so much old Loctite in them that when it heats up, it'll actually melt and get stuck again. So this will be mounted here. I will have to run this underneath that. Go. On and off switch. I don't know if I'm going to run an on and off switch on this. I might take it off. But hopefully, I'm going to try to get this side piece on now. And as soon as it stops, don't hit the trigger. So we are getting pretty close. I want to keep all these wires inside. Now I do have a censored wire that I'm going to hook up for now. Because I can always unplug it. Now I have to make sure A, B, and C here is A, B, and C on this controller. Since I can't see it, I'm going to turn it up. So C is closest to motor. So A is the bottom. Trying to keep the wires in line so that I can put a tie on them, and they still look decent, and they reach, of course, the main thing. So that plug, make sure that these wires are down in there. You don't want any wires hanging out. And then I always check my steering just to make sure it's not in the way. So that's how that's going to mount. And then this wire is actually going to go in here. In my holder. And then this will be probably hot glued right in there so that I can put that wire in there. And under the body I can hit the on and off switch right here. So the next thing I'm going to do is get my receiver box buttoned up. And then now that I've got that on, I'm going to put the steering, because the steering usually doesn't have to come out anymore. So I'll usually put the steering one in first. Make sure it goes to the bottom. And then I'll take the receiver one. Now this, because I have a data link, I should have ran a connector out so that I don't have to open the receiver box to unplug it to program it. But once I program this once, I shouldn't have to open up the box anymore. So I am going to leave the cover off the box so that I can program this ESC for forward, reverse, all that stuff before I button that up. But the next thing this is, so here's red gasket maker. This is a hot RTV silicone. I use this, or I like to use black. But I don't know what happened to my black. So I am going to mount down this ESC with this, and I'm going to mount down the switch with that. You can use shoe goo for the switch as well. But I'm going to grab tape. Wonder if I should mount this up like this. Up might be better. And closer to the receiver. It's flat, right? So I'll probably do it right there. I'm going to grab some tape so that I can tape this stuff down. Put it on the back of the switch. Like that, so I can tape it. And then the ESC, I want it straight. So I'll show you what I mean, and I'll tape the switch down first. Hopefully it doesn't move while I'm moving the ESC. But I'll take this, put a dab right there. Squeeze it in, and I'll tape this down, tape the other side down so it doesn't move. Just like that, and that should hold it. And that little piece hanging out, once it dries, I'll be able to peel it off. So, and then this, what I do, let me get it up. Now I'll take the base here, right in the center. I put a gob of it. Can you guys see that? Can you see it looks like a turd sitting in there? Let me grab a flashlight. So a big pile of it. That's going to cushion my ESC. So then I'm going to set this thing down properly. To where I'm not hitting the drive shaft. Tuck this wire in here because I don't want it to move. Now, you see how it bulged out on both sides? That's what I was looking for. And that's it. Now it's going to sit like this and dry. This one moved. Probably when I was tugging on the wires. So everything is going to sit like that and dry. I like black better when it comes to the silicone, but high temp silicone works too. And then any excess silicone that's sticking out, don't mess with it now. Wait for it to dry and you can just take a scraper and scrape it off if you don't like the looks of it. But there we go, nice and straight, and that corner is awfully close to that ESC, to the drive shaft in that corner. So just be aware, I do have a space. It's not much of a space, but I do have a space for that diff cup. There we go. I am going to let everything dry like that. And then we're going to get to soldering this and getting it programmed. So, we'll see you guys when it's dry. All right, I give it a couple hours to just set in. It's not dry. It's just set in a little bit so that I can solder on the battery end so I can get to programming the ESC. Dip a little bit of this into that so we get a good bond. Build this up a little bit. See if this will work for me. Where am I? I think I'm on the negative side. Yep. So I'm going to line this thing up first. Like I said, I put both ends. In there. Get it nice and hot. I'm going to take my needle nose, because this will get hot. It's already cooled off a little bit. Now I find adding a little bit of solder will help melt the solder Castle puts on. I don't know what kind of solder they use, but it literally takes forever to heat up. getting off the excess solder. I'm going to go ahead and tin this a little bit. Throw some more solder in this side now. This is the positive. And hopefully while I keep this thing hot, I can put this end in here. Maybe not. Up there, because I'll need those again. I just need to add a little solder here. Don't really want to burn the plastic. Wait for it to suck in. Go. That sizzle is the tip cooling off in the water. Turn it down to 3. Turn off my soldering gun while this cools. Close up my flux. Take my solder. This is some really good solder. Good brand. It's I've noticed if you don't get good solder, what ends up happening is you end up fighting with it. The solder will actually cool off your iron. So, let's take a look at this thing. Snap that in. Take my pliers off so the weight's not there. I don't think the ESC moved. Still looking good. Gonna unplug my anti-spark. Oh, God. I'm gonna make sure I didn't move that ESC. Nope, we're good. Yep, still all good. On and off switch, still kind of soft. But it's holding strong. Now I put one connector on because I have a splitter. So I have a splitter to go to 2 batteries. But for now, we're just going to hook up one battery. And I'm going to test it and see if I need to reverse the motor direction, that kind of stuff on 6S. So, but I do have a splitter that will plug into this and go to 2. I'll be right back. Gonna grab my remote. All right, back again. Got my remote powered up. Says Kraton EXB. So we're gonna turn this on and see how this thing sounds. That's weird. It kind of took off in reverse like he was talking about. Yep. So it is backwards when it comes to the forward and brake. So even though it's moving correctly, let me check my remote. Let's go to, you go to reverse, steering, it's on normal. Let's reverse that, which is throttle. See if that's working normal now. So my brakes are working normal now, but the direction's backwards. Unplug the ESC. Come on, there we go. So my ESC is unplugged now. I'm going to grab my cable. I'm going to plug in my cable. So that the wires are going the right direction. This is Castle Link, so I'm going to grab my laptop now. As you see, it's still working. Now it's reading it. Wow, that took forever. So let's go to motor. Motor direction is normal. I'm going to reverse this. We're going to update it. I'm going to see if I can reverse it and then reverse it in my controller to reverse it back, and then the brakes will be normal. Okay, it's updated. I'm going to plug it back in and check it real quick. And now my brakes and reverse and everything's the right way. So I literally had to go into Castle Link, flip it, go into my controller, flip it, and now everything's good. If not, what ends up happening is, like he was saying, you go to hit your brakes and the thing would just go immediately into reverse, and then when you go to hit trigger, it would apply brakes. So, and I've had this happen before. You just have to go in, flip the motor direction, even though it flips it the wrong way, and then flip it in your controller. And then everything will be normal. I still have to get to GRC and get his flipped around. He's been doing something trying to fix it, but you're not going to fix it unless you get Castle Link. Until you get the link and you get it plugged in and you can flip the direction, even though the direction was right, it won't work. So there you go, guys. Let me get this back over here. So I might just run this thing on 6S instead of 8S for now. I'll bring 8S batteries with me, but I'm going to go ahead and turn this off. Turn my receiver off. And that's how I set it up, guys. So ESC is glued down. It's glued to the bracket. Get these things back in here. There we go. Like, comment, subscribe. That's how I install a system, a new system, into my RC. So these wires will actually end up flipping around and going over here. I have an adapter for them, but body should protect that. I don't like it this close, but it's just the way it has to be done. I mean, I could mount it the other way, but then all these little wires are really close to that front drive shaft, and that's why I do it this way. So there we go. Like, comment, subscribe. We'll see you on my next video. Thanks for watching.